If you want to meet me at the club, we can stuff it.
Oh, with fisticuffs.
Bitch, knuck if you buckle.
Knuckle if you...
Oh, we going?
Yeah, we live.
I was just gonna let you roll. That shit was...
All right, so welcome to the Pull Up or Shut Up podcast. I'm your host, Tremell S, and this is...
Mike Gef in the building.
All right, so today we got a beautiful show for you guys. We got a couple topics, and then hopefully we'll be able to get to a guest today before the day's in.
So we got a lot of controversy going on around the world right now, and with all this... What, my bracelet? With all the...
My bracelet?
So with all the controversy going on around the world right now, we kind of like want to create a platform for everybody and anybody to pull up or shut up. You know, you can't tell anybody what they should have done, where they should have went, how they should have did it, or why they should have did it. So guess what? Pull up or shut up. So let's go straight into our topic for the day.
Yeah, we've been waiting on this one all night. So today we got a user requested question. And they kind of want us to just go back and forth about this here two-party system, and if the third party is actually a viable option. So my brother Mike Gef has been waiting to get into it all night, so I'm gonna go ahead and let him go first, and give y'all a breakdown on it.
So we started with a topic that we definitely felt like is exceeding like every other topic. You know, we're going straight for it. Like the two-party system. You got Joe Biden and you got, I was going to say Biden. You got Joe Biden and you got Donald J. Trump. And the problem with our system right now is like with how the matrix is set up, we literally, it's like you either get the Hillary or you get the Trump.
Right.
You either get the Trump or you get the Biden. You're either fucked or you're fucked. So it like really, really comes down to how do we fix this system? Can the system be fixed? Which method do you take? Do you go with one of these, the lesser of the two evils? Do you go with the third party who, I'm not going to lie, a lot of people are uneducated on? Me personally, before this show, definitely. I learned a lot about the third party. And even further than that, it's like, where do you go with this current situation that we're dealing with? So, Donald Trump, you got the racist, bigot, women hater, grab her by the pussy dude, you know, the disgusting, the sexist, the bias, the bigot, the list goes on. And then you got the crime bill man himself, 1994 crime bill, Joe Biden. I keep wanting to say Joe Budden because we were talking about Joe Budden right before
Mr. COINTELPRO.
Yeah, like, so you got these two complete opposite sides of the spectrum, but then whenever you attack one side, then you have the supporters of the other side going, oh, but you agree with me. No, I don't. I'm telling you why this side sucks. That doesn't mean that this side doesn't suck. So my thing is, what do you feel about this third party? What do you feel about this two-party system? How do you feel like the third party is involved in it? And like, is the third party a benefit or more of a disadvantage of like facing like more so like not paying attention to it?
I'll say this. So for me, there's this one Karl Marx quote that kind of sticks out to me, and I might be misquoting it, but it basically goes, every year the oppressed people get to decide on which representatives of the oppressing class will then oppress them, right? So to me, it's kind of this futile situation where I feel like with the way that the American political discourse works is that we are never really going to be free of that, specifically because that is the design.
The matrix.
That is the way that they designed it, so that way the both of them can sit back and say, okay, well, at least we're not giving the power up to anybody else. Now, here's the problem with our current system, right? So you have Donald Trump, and Donald Trump is of course, we won't even get into that on this episode, all right? So I'll say Donald Trump is abrasive and a lot to take in just alone. Joe Biden has a very, very, very checkered history and a very bleak-looking future. And in my
elaborate on bleak.
So when it comes to Joe Biden. Look, you almost got me saying Biden. Look, no, so when it comes to Joe Biden, I personally feel as if Joe Biden is coming into it from a perspective of I belong here. I think he's coming into it from a perspective of, well, you should give me your vote. Well, I already did this. Well, I've been there. I deserve it. And the way that he apologizes for his past transgressions doesn't make me feel as if he's truly apologetic or if that's just more pandering, right? So when it comes to Joe Biden, it is a very bleak looking future. Furthermore, I believe that again, going back to the American political discourse pendulum that swings, I think the fuck-ups of the Bush presidency got us the Barack Obama presidency. The progress of the Obama presidency made all of these people from these different groups that felt that they had been ostracized by society. You had your Tea Partiers, you had the wealthy who were on Wall Street who had to deal with the Wall Street thing, you had your homophobes who were upset about the gay marriage, you had your just standard run-of-the-mill racists from good old America who just didn't like the fact that we had Obama. So all those people kind of linked up and created this Captain Planet of fucking problematic behavior, and that is Donald Trump, right?
Yeah.
So when you see
the worst of all worlds,
when you see the pendulum and the way that it swings, we need someone who is as equally divisive or not. I won't say divisive, but as equally
forward.
Forward. And just ferocious. And
one thing I gotta give Trump. One thing I gotta give Trump. That radical shit. That's that and like the way he's a quick responder.
Right.
And I feel like that we need that forwardness. But then it's like everything else about the dude just sucks.
Well,
so it's
and here's the problem though. That quickness can help and it can hurt, right?
Oh yeah.
So a lot of it helps with the president being the social media president and him hearing about everything that's happening as it's happening because of fucking Twitter, right? And here on the show, we believe in hashtag death to the Twitter fingers. We're gonna go ahead and put a little thing on the bottom. But so when it comes to that president, yes, he's able to attack things faster, right? However, he's also able to spread disinformation at a much, much, much faster rate, right? And especially because back then when a president would say something or when the president would give someone a platform, then the people will go, oh, that's who the president supports and we don't fuck with the president because of that, right? Well, now the president can just retweet someone and say, oh, well, I just retweeted him. So, I didn't really say it myself. I just had him retweet, So you kind of become removed from the situation, you know what I mean? So when it comes to the Biden thing, I think Joe Biden is way too moderate for us to go after, or for us to take down Donald Trump, and not only to take down Donald Trump, but keep him away, right? Because what Donald Trump has done, if nothing else, if we don't go into anything else, he has changed what is normally acceptable for the office of president.
Oh yeah.
He has flexed the presidential powers so much so to where a lot of people are realizing in the Trump presidency, the president
I can become president.
No. The president can kind of do whatever the fuck the president wants to do. And if he spreads disinformation enough and he gets enough people on his side and enough people afraid of him, then he can do whatever the hell he wants. Now, what does that do for the guy who comes after Joe Biden? Well, let's say that this person's a career politician. Let's say that this person is a little bit more covert in their homophobia and in their bigotry, and let's say that they're not as impulsive when it comes to statements. So what ends up happening is you get this new person who is, again, on the antithesis of change and of progress. And what ends up happening is that person can then move like a politician, but with Donald Trump tactics. So you'll see that the deep state gets even deeper, right? And hopefully this interview, hopefully it won't, but this interview more than likely can be used this conversation can be used as like a time capsule. You know what I'm saying? Open this bitch up in 15 years and see what I'm saying, right? Because I think that's where we're headed. So now going into the third party, as far as Joe Jorgensen goes, I personally, because that's our front runner, right? Joe Jorgensen. So my problem lies not even necessarily with her. It's more so in the ideology of libertarians, right? Because for libertarians, and if you think I'm wrong, you're more than welcome to fucking pull up or shut the fuck up. When it comes to Joe Jorgensen, I personally feel as if libertarians value freedom over everything, right? So that freedom, it extends down to the individual, right? Individual freedoms. You run into a problem when you think a little bit more critically and you think a little deeper and you realize who else is considered an individual? Corporations. So corporations were made citizens in the exact same U.S. amendment or the constitutional amendment that made black people and natural born American citizens, right? That was your birthright citizenship amendment. That extends to companies. So when you look into her policies, you say, well, Joe Jorgensen, how do you feel about a minimum wage? Well, she says, well, I believe
an hour.
No, I believe in personal liberties. I believe in freedom. And I believe that the government doesn't have any right to tell a company what they should be paying their employees. Right?
What?
Exactly.
But then you can fucking charge somebody $2.13 an hour like a server. But...
So then what they say to that is because they're libertarian and freedom is all valued or is valued above everything else, they say, well, then just go to a different company. Well, we've seen in the past that if companies can get away with it,
they're all going to do it. They're all going to do it.
So you have to think a lot deeper into what people are actually saying, what the politicians are actually talking about. And that's just one example. You know, we could go into her belief in punishing, people convicted of sex crimes. You know what I mean? Which on paper sound amazing. Okay, on paper, if someone is caught having sex with a 17-year-old, then they absolutely will go to jail and they'll be registered as a sex offender for the rest of your life. Well, then what happens when a person is 6 weeks older and they're 18 and the person is 17 and the parents decide to use that law against them? That's something that we see time and time again. And that was something that happened in California as well with the new bill. I believe it was SB 245 or whatever.
I had a lot of dudes in high school, bro, black males who they would be 17, 18. It was like that situation. 18-year-old dude, black dude, 17-year-old white girl. Right. They went through their whole thing. They did their own thing. And then what happens?
The parents catch them.
2 weeks later, dude's locked up.
Right.
Fucking smacked with a sexual offender charge.
So then the question you have to ask yourself is that fair?
Nope.
And can it be weaponized? Right. So and that's something that you always have to keep in mind when you are thinking about these kinds of situations, specifically as it pertains to everyone, right?
So, but with Joe Jorgensen, so she definitely feels like adamant about the like reforming, like crime, the justice reform.
Who doesn't?
Okay. So with her, she wants to focus solely on jails.
Who doesn't?
Facts. Now, what methods do you think we need to go through to like reform these jails? Because I feel like once you go into these jails for these petty ass crimes, you're in there because everybody feels the same way everyone feels the same way about these reforming crime and whatever. Right. So let's say you go into these positions, you reform. What is a method that it's not going to be what's a method that we can go by that we can like restructure this justice, because the justice reform, because it's targeted towards not just black males, but a lot of people who even are in that society, in that vicinity, right, of that environment. Right. So like myself, victim of the society. So it's how do you go through these crimes and like these crime reforms and actually adjust them to where they're not targeted toward just a certain person, but like everyone's actually put on the same matrix, because you could be a white dude in Buckhead doing cocaine and you're screwed or you're good. No police there. Right. They're not going to bother you. But you might be a black dude in Bankhead and this police officer just caught you. You're not even distributing. You're just doing it just like the white dude was in Buckhead. But now you got put on a whole other spectrum.
Of course.
So like...
So to answer your question with that, so not to sound pessimistic, but that is the system working the way that it was designed, right?
Yeah.
And so in order to change the system, you first have to change who's in power, right? So if let's say there's a person in a chess game who keeps kicking your ass at chess, eventually you either learn and you learn how to play chess against them, which you gotta fucking learn a lot, and it's gonna take a long fucking time, or you fucking change who you're playing chess against, right? So currently we are playing chess against one of the most prolific chess players in the entire fucking history of the universe, and that is the American government. We have seen them play and do all types of things that just would fucking it's you couldn't even write this shit that they've done, right? So
like these protests,
I feel a little pessimistic towards changing the system. Now, there's a James Baldwin quote. Again, I'm really bad at quotes, but I love, I get the sentiments, okay? I get the fucking idea. The belief that not everything that we face can be changed, but that doesn't mean that everything that needs to be changed shouldn't be faced, right? So just because the system that we are fighting against will more than likely never be changed because that was the way that it was designed, that was the way that it was set up. More than likely, we're gonna be fighting this until the fucking country dissolves, until this country, because I mean, it was built on ancient Indian burial ground or Native American burial ground. Pardon my political correctness. An ancient Native American burial ground. It's built on the backs of slaves, and you keep fucking poor whites and poor blacks and poor people in general just fighting against each other. You know what I mean?
And that I kind of wanted to jump back towards the two-party because I feel like that's a big part of it. It's like you have both these parties, and it. Me and Jay were talking a little bit before we started this, before today's show, and it's like you have this one side talking about, okay, no, you shouldn't be able to abort a child, or yes, you should be able to, and then you have another one saying, oh, raise and lower taxes, and it's like you have these focuses that are counterproductive, completely go against each other, don't make sense, don't correlate, and they literally pin the American people against each other for the same values. It just.
Well, it goes back to the psychological tactic known as the illusion of choice, right? And the illusion of choice
you think you have a choice.
It says that people are happier when they believe that they are making their own choices and control their own fate, basically, right? When we know that's not true.
No.
We don't really have choices. We really, like the fact that we are pitted up against this old racist white man and this old racist white man who used to be racist, but maybe kind of still is, but maybe he's not anymore. But you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then we have this woman who believes that we should take the government out of marriage, right? They go, well, how do you feel about gay marriage? And they go, well, I think that marriage should be left to religious institutions, and I think the government should be out of marriage, right? Which sounds great. Oh, freedom, fucking freedom. But all these religious institutions, they don't like gay people.
Yeah,
so they decide, okay, well, the religious institutions control it. Well, fuck you. Now we're a religious institution. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you get how this illusion of choice and then this super unattractive choice that you already know isn't going to win?
It's like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel because you think, oh my God, I might just get a little scoop of ice cream right now. I might get a little bit of ice cream right now. But now you're just scraping at the fucking cone.
Exactly.
You're not getting shit.
It's the same way that everybody in America personally believes that they're going to be a billionaire or be a millionaire.
But 95% of the income is owned by 5% of the fucking people.
Exactly. So you really do the math. Most of you guys are gonna fucking die broke. Say that shit again. Most of you are gonna die fucking broke. And here's the problem. That's not something that people want to hear. That's not something that people want to be told because that's a brutal reality that crushes their dream, right? And so of course you want everybody to go and have their dream and live their life and do what they do what they're destined to do. But at the same time, the system which is in play, and you are the chess piece, you will never make the players move. You understand?
You're not even the chess piece. You're like pawn.
Well, I mean, the pawn is the chess, but So it's basically like we're watching a chess game be played, and we're the fucking pawns and shit, and we're sitting here like, hey, please move me to the square next to you, and he goes, fuck you, die. Fuck you, I need that queen. I need you to put that person in this position so I can move here and get the. And at the end
knight matters. You don't matter.
And then it kind of it to go even further. We talk about how power and money corrupts, right? So it doesn't really make you hopeful for a future party. We've seen this in the past. Every single group that has fought for equal rights has at some point had someone in there who was stealing, who was taking money, who had a larger than life God complex about themselves, who wants supremacy instead of equality. That's in every single group, right? Nice. Which is why I try not to let those kinds of people define what I believe a movement is, right? I kind of try to stick with the general message.
So general public.
But when we talk about you being a president, you running for the highest office in the land, in the world, basically, when you look at the military size, like, you know what I'm saying? You really at some point start to become less hopeful towards that. So I personally think that if we were to create our own party, right? Let's just say you and me create our own party. We decide to we're gonna fuck corruption.
We'll just join Kanye's birthday party on Wikipedia.
Yo, okay, we'll get into that. But let's say that we decide to get rid of all corruption. We're gonna make this free. We're gonna make sure free college, medical debt. We're gonna raise taxes on everybody, but not enough to where people can't feed their families and still live great lives, happy lives, right? Let's just say at some point, whether it's not even me or you, I mean, because our souls are corruptible, right? That's how we are as humans. If it's not me or you, it'll be someone under us. It'll be someone after us. It'll be someone that's getting over on us. You feel me? So
who's making the money right below us?
Exactly.
Have you ever seen the show 3%?
Yeah.
It's elaborate on it. It literally speaks on like you might. It literally is like that video game that like you do one thing and it can literally steer you into a whole nother thing.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, and
right.
like that's a lot of what 3% is, and then like you have all these little pieces, and all of them are part of the government in this TV show, and all these little pieces are just backstabbing each other.
Right.
And like you might think you got into this door that got you into the offshore, but now you got a aluminum pipe coming through your head, and now you're knocked out. And it's like it just kind of I've been watching this, and it really just been fucking with me, dude. Because I'm like, we literally have a system where when you say something, you get shut up.
Right.
But when you don't say it, they want you to speak.
Right.
When you
they try to say what you should say.
Yeah. Oh. And then once you say it, then they want to tell you how where, why you did it, why you should, how you should have done it.
Right.
And it's just shut the fuck up and pull up and have the motherfucking conversation, because this is the problem. I feel like no one nowadays is really no one's sitting the fuck down and having a conversation. They're just like, we all just suck.
Right.
If we just realize the whole government suck, I suck, you suck, Jay sucks, fucking pull up or shut up fucking sucks. Goddamn Donald Trump sucks, because if I say Donald Trump sucks, Biden's people are like, oh, of course.
Well, he's with me. And you go, no, bitch,
I fucking hate you too.
Right.
And it's just like, you suck too. It's like, if we just all realize, like, we have been fed into a society that literally gives not one fuck, two fucks about two of us or any fucking body else around us, then it's like, how is that not the beginning? But then you think about it, and the people that you're led by are literally teaching you hate.
Yeah.
By bashing not just what you believe in, but the people.
Well, to stop you there, I want you to realize not hate, right? Like because hate is a reaction to your lack of knowledge, right? So I don't know about these people, fuck, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But things like equality, freedom, liberty, these concepts are foreign to us as people. They're not natural. They're not. We want to say so badly that this is something that we personally have, and we
hell no,
or that we are born with. But at the end of the day, to say that we are all equal,
no,
to a child, to tell a child that, some children are like, fuck that, dude. I'm fucking me.
I want this fucking awesome ice cream. Fuck your ice cream.
So everyone has this I'm me sort of self-awareness to them. Right?
It's all about yourself at the end of the day.
And so that right there is a part of the human nature. Okay? When you have people who are and this is just everyone. This is me. This is you. This is every fucking person outside of this. You have people who are going to vote for themselves, for their self-interest, to make themselves feel better. So even if they're voting selflessly, it's to make themselves feel better about voting selflessly, right? Every single aspect of our life is selfish. When someone dies, you're not crying because this person has lost their life. You're crying because you'll never see them again. You're crying because you will never. And so we are all selfish down at our core. Now, when you start to talk about politics and the way that people vote and the way that people view things, the way that people go on about their lives, in America, selfishness.
Crazy, that's just about dying.
So getting back to it, so I'll tell you a little story. So we were traveling from Atlanta to London, right? And it was, of course, a pretty long traveling time. I think I spent like maybe 13, 14 hours traveling. So I'm a little tired, a little bit, just it's a lot of fucking stress traveling. So we get out of Heathrow Airport, and I go to get on the escalator. And so I get told, hey, make sure you move over to the right side because people behind you are trying to pass. And so let them just go up the escalator, right? With my American brain, first thing I think is, fuck them. If I'm waiting, they can fucking wait too. And that's that's how we drive. That's how we are in traffic, dude. Right? We're like, fuck you. I don't care if I'm not going faster than you. I'm still not gonna get out of your fucking way. You have to wait behind me, and my day is more important. That's our country. So then I look and I see that everyone in front of me is standing to the right.
You're giving me an anxiety attack thinking of traffic right now.
And everybody behind me is standing to the right. And I'm just the fucking American asshole standing there with my suitcase in the middle of the escalator talking about, well, they can fucking wait. And then I go, oh, shit. That's what people say when they say fuck Americans. Fucking Americans, you selfish motherfucker, because that's in our culture. So this country down to its roots.
Literally take.
Selfish, take. Fuck
they don't
you,
matter.
Scapegoats. So it's in every single one of us. It's in what you're taught. It's in
You're born.
So we may never in our own lifetime see the actual change that we look for, and that's a terrifying thought to even imagine my children growing up in this world that has molded me into this individual that I am.
Really give me anxiety. Now I gotta think about having kids, bro.
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The fucking world is on fire. Literally,
Corona.
It used to be to the point when babies were born, the baby was crying, you know what I'm saying? Slap the baby on the ass, you go, oh, damn, little baby, he just, Now when babies are born, they're fucking screaming. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I feel you, bro. Welcome to hell.
Have you seen that meme? I don't want to get off track, but like, have you seen that meme where it's like, it's like 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and it's like all these stick figures, and then it's like the killer wasp. Then you have fucking Corona.
Yeah.
Then you have the protest, and it's like, all right, now no. Then it was time to chill. Australia protested, then it's going to chill, and then it's like a killer wasp runs through the fucking thing, runs through the tree. Now you have all this fucked up shit. Yeah. It's like back to back.
And here's the thing. I think it's only going to continue to get worse.
Oh boy, it's got to get worse before it gets better.
Because I remember 2016 and everybody being like, "Holy shit, 2016 is the worst year. Everybody's fucking dying and all this shit is happening. Oh my god, 2016 is fucking horrible." Now, fucking 2020 comes.
Now everybody magically want to be like, oh, I can't wait for 2021. Right. It's gonna be just as fucking bad, okay?
If not worse, because this country is. I feel like we are witnessing the fall of the American empire.
Amen, my brother.
And it's a very sad tale because all other great empires lasted for much longer and had way less money.
And what happens when it's being something's being taken away from you? What happens when it's being destroyed? You go through that trauma. You go through, no, I want that. It's mine. No, fuck that. Fuck them. Fuck everybody. And it's like, it's gonna get worse, bro, because we just, like, look at every day, bro. It's like, we've decided that, okay, cool, we'll just fucking come up with topics for the podcast the day before we shoot the fucking podcast, because goddamn, so shit just shit's irrelevant.
That's what a lot of news agencies have to do. You got to imagine, if you think that's stressful, imagine the job of a person who has to go live every single day with the fucking president who's on Twitter. The president, he can go on Twitter and be like, hey, fuck them Mexican niggas. And we just got to deal with that. Like, you know?
And then what makes it worse is not just that you're dealing with the fucking president going, fuck those Mexicans. You got the motherfucking dumbass Mexicans who are like, what did I post today?
Yeah,
what did I, no. What did I post today? It was like, hey, and most Mexicans are actually the ones who liked it. It was like, hey, racist Mexicans who act white, they don't fucking like you either.
Right.
So it's like, it's not just about the president talking about fuck Mexicans. We got to deal with all his followers.
So that goes back to our, like I said, our weird self-awareness where we go, I'm me, and I go before everyone else, right? So I read a book a couple years ago where it was an investigator, I believe. They were a like a detective, and so they had, you know, prosecuted a couple, whatever the fuck they did. They had, what do detectives do? What's the fucking word?
Investigate?
They detect?
Investigate?
No, not investigate. They interrogate. That's what it is. So they've gone through interrogation tactics, and so they talk about how they use the human brain to kind of to decide, you know, rather if a person's lying based on where their eyes move, because the cerebral cortex. Right. So
that's on 3%.
To get a little deeper into it, what they talked about was how every person, down to their core, every single one of us wants to either belong, or no, not either. Everyone wants to belong and differentiate, right? So we all want to be a part of a group, but we all want to be different from that group. So that belonging and differentiation goes into everything, and you can't. And so I want you to really assess it, because it's something that we don't even really recognize. It's something that I do, you do, we all do. And so it's one, like, when you hear about it, you go, oh, these fucking sheep. But you don't even realize the person who taught you how to say sheep, the person who taught you that, you know what I'm saying? It's all of these different things that people use to validate themselves, their culture. Right, and it all goes down to who they are as a person, and they go, I'm me, I'm better than everyone else. So you got, like, let's say you're standard run-of-the-mill racist white person, right? Probably poor, that's just, you know, probably uneducated. That's just usually what happens. And not to say all of them are, because a lot of you racists are actually very educated and well traveled.
Y'all just racist.
Y'all just some assholes. But
we fucking hate y'all.
But at the same time, they're doing the exact same thing I said. They're thinking of just me. So I mean, I can't even really, you know.
Don't live on a fucking.
But
don't live in the fucking country.
The poorest and most uneducated white man has nothing else going for him. He's fucked up his life. You know what I mean? Been in and out of jail. You know what I mean? Having trouble with relationships. But at the end of the day, he's not a nigger.
I do want to talk on U.S. We'll get back into this third party bullshit. Fucking suck the dick ass motherfuckers. But I want to talk about this veteran. Me and Shay were sitting down going over her magazine. She was just proofreading it. We were hanging out at the park. We were chilling, vibing. We were talking about these different scenarios. And he goes, you know what you need to put in that magazine is the veteran that was forgotten. And he just starts talking to me, bro, and like, something made me just sit there and listen. And teeth all rotten. Gums are fucked. Dude, his fucking stomach was... He was blown up in Vietnam.
Right.
Fucking whole body had to be, like, stitched back together. And it just made me realize, bro, it's like, you fight for this country that's not fighting for you.
Yeah.
And then you wake up one day and you're like, I'm broken and I'm miserable, but I still got a little bit more in me. Let me try. And then you try and you fucking sit there and you realize that you're still in the same fucking situation.
Yes. And
I feel like that's the issue with these third parties. It is with the two-party system. With the third party, it's like Okay, cool. It's not the two-party. All right, let's go third party. But it's not that either. But, all right, how about this person? No, it can't be that either. And it's just like, it kind of gets to the point where it's fucking miserable, bro.
So you are awakening to the state that the black community has been in for years.
Yep.
Now, again, going back to James Baldwin, drop one of Clues bombs for James Baldwin. I don't think we have Clues bombs, but we dropping a bomb for James Baldwin. He, one of his quotes back in the 60s or 70s was, to be a black man in America is to be in a state of perpetual rage, right? Mm. Because when you really look at it, so that veteran talked about something that has been a problem from the start. Black people have died in every single war since this country has started.
Yep.
And we have died fighting on the side of freedom, right? So, historically speaking, even when we went to fight for freedom in 1776, we were like, oh shit, we free. And then they went, not you nigger. Not, right?
Only 3/5 of
it. Right. So when you really look at it, you kind of, I mean, that's what we learned in fucking elementary school, you know? So growing up as a black man in this country it's fucking enraging. It's incredibly depressing. You know what I mean? That's why we have so many mental health problems, because we're constantly sitting here dealing with this it's like a wound that just constantly keeps getting reopened.
Yeah,
right?
I know that feeling.
Or not even getting reopened. It never closes, right? So and so that Malcolm X metaphor where he says progress is not sticking a knife 9 inches into my back and then taking it out 6 inches, right? Progress is not taking the knife out completely, right? Progress happens when the knife is out of my back and the wound has began to heal. And yet the knife is still in our back. So, and it's in that one spot that for some fucking reason we can't reach.
So, with the leadership that we're dealing with, I feel like that plays a big-ass part in it. You got everybody who wants to reform, like we were talking about. You have all these people who want to reform. But, like, it needs to fucking burn, bro. Like,
your change that you are looking for is going to come from you and no one else.
Yep. So, question. So, does it go back to we're all?
And it sounds so cliche to say this, but when you make that personal change within yourself, then you are able to change the lives of the people that are around you.
So,
and those people are able to change the lives of the people that they're around, and it extends. So you go from changing yourself to changing your household, to changing your community, to changing your town, to changing your city, to changing your state, to changing your country. And that's how you change the world.
That's crazy. I'm going to say completely the opposite. I was talking to my rabbi, and he said, I was sitting there, and I was like, dude, I feel like there's something that can be done. And he's like, well, you got to focus on yourself.
Yes.
This guy tried to change the world, realized that he couldn't change the world, so he started focusing on his country. Then he started focusing on his state. Then he started focusing on his city. Still not shit happening.
What's it want to change the world?
Then he started. Then he focused on his family. Still nothing changed.
Right.
He had to focus on himself. He had to change himself.
Right.
Through changing himself, he changed the world.
Right.
So it's just like, but isn't that self-centered shit? Like, isn't that what it comes down to? Because I'm changing the world how I want it to be.
All, right, and we're all, because no. I mean, let's be honest. Humans have changed the world, and it's not for the better.
No.
Right. So, but when we say change the world, that's already an imaginary goal, because you don't change the world. You might change the situation for a large group of people. You might change the world for yourself. You might change. You know what I mean? Even Jesus Christ himself didn't change the world. You know what I mean? Martin Luther King didn't change the world. So there's and that's not to take away from anything that either of those people did, but it's just to say that these problems still persist. These things that we deal with, they still persist. Yes, things can become a little easier, but it's all, you know what I mean? Noli non sub sum. There's nothing new under the sun.
It's all happening.
It's all happening. It's, you know what I mean? And right now we're dealing with history repeating itself, and it's a fucking open book test.
Oh, bro,
you know what I mean? We're failing.
Yes,
we're failing.
Oh my fucking god,
open book test.
Bro, history is fucking repeating itself, dog. Like,
and if it doesn't repeat, then it at least rhymes, right?
Dog. So I want to talk about this third party, and like she talks about.
Well, okay,
Joe Jurgensen. I do want.
Right.
I do want to touch on this.
Right.
Joe Jurgensen talks about she wants to decrease the government, and by decrease the government, she wants a lot of government decrease. What the fuck does that mean?
I don't. Okay, so I don't believe that. It's you. You mean to tell me that you are running for the most powerful office in the fucking land, and you want to remove powers, some of your own powers? No, that's all. That's all self-serving bullshit.
You probably just want to remove everything around you.
That's self-serving bullshit for people to vote for you. They go, well, she wants freedom, she wants liberty, but like I said, that freedom, that decreased government becomes a problem. When you go decrease the government, what if we say decreasing the government means removing the FDA regulations on food? What if we say decreasing the government means we change labor laws to where children can now work? When you say decrease government, you really have to think about what the fuck that actually means. You really do. When we decrease the government, what does that mean? The local police forces no longer have oversight, and local police forces can now do whatever the fuck they want. Why? Because you wanted less government. Do you understand how that becomes a slippery slope? So this problem that we really see, it's not going to be changed through voting. That's their system. That's their illusion of choice. It's their game. And it's a game that, of course, you should play because people died to play that fucking game, right? But at the end of the day, you do have to realize that there is a lot more that needs to be done that's outside of voting. Because the hood is still the hood. You know what I'm saying? My older brother told me that shit back when he told me, look, when Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton, my older brother, shout out to Hakeem, fucking told me that Donald J. Trump was going to fucking become president. And I said, no fucking way. There's no way in hell that this fucking orange motherfucker is going to beat that goddamn deep state fucking global conspiracy witch, right?
First of all, how the fuck do you trust?
Wait, so look, so when he said that, I was like, dude, there's no fucking way. There's no way. But he was absolutely correct. Right. And he said, it doesn't matter to me because the hood's still gonna be the hood. Niggas still gonna be robbing. Niggas still gonna be starving. Niggas still gonna be right? And so until somebody starts talking about some shit for us, kind of really don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I think the Democrats deserve to lose. I think if you as a Democrat went to that voting booth and you said, I'm gonna pick Joe Biden. I'm gonna pick Joe Biden because Joe Biden's gonna change everything. Joe Biden's gonna beat Donald Trump. Well, okay, you know what? Fucking good on you. But when time comes and you put one of the most unattractive politicians against one of the most charismatic fucking human beings in the public eye, you know what I mean? Say what you want about Donald Trump.
He is charismatic as fuck.
It's so hard to not watch everything this nigga does.
Yeah.
This motherfucker 2-hour rally, he starts out, you like, I'm only gonna watch a clip or two. It's fucking 30, 40 minutes in, you're like, shit, how did I get here? 2 hours, you go, that's it? Right?
The Home Alone leaving fucking motherfucker.
You have Joe Biden who can barely get through a conversation without saying something problematic.
Bro.
This nigga Joe Biden would be like, and I think we really need to change everything. Listen here, Jack, okay? There's a woman, and I really want to grab her breast. But I won't, because that's not okay anymore.
Because it's not okay anymore.
And you go, right, and so that's...
If you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Right. If you're having trouble deciding between me and Donald Trump, then you ain't black. And by the way, the most important part of that interview came in the form of the entire interview. The full interview was the most problematic part. So I'm telling you, as a black person, I was watching that shit, I was so disrespected, and then when he finally said that shit about Trump, I went, oh yeah, this nigga fucked. Yeah, we fucked. We about to get another 4 years of this shit. If not, another 8, another 16, another 32. Who knows? This nigga Trump might not leave. Who fucking knows, you know?
I mean, dude, with his last 4 years is kind of terrible. Well, hopefully. Or hopefully not.
3.5.
So, like, if he got elected, it'd be his last term. I feel like, bro, shit is going to get fucked up. Like, you have this dude who literally follows no rules, who can fucking rub the fucking genie and say, oh, I want to motherfucking wake up tomorrow and be the motherfucking president again. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to change the motherfucking term. I'm going to figure out a way to fucking change this shit
or he just says,
and become a dictator.
Or he just says, I'm not leaving, and the fucking military doesn't do anything because he's the president.
He's the president.
So, you know, that's the thing. That right there is that's the biggest fear.
That's the American way.
And they've asked them. They go. Well, how does it look? How would it look for a sitting U.S. president to say no, fuck that, I'm not going? And he goes, well, Hillary did it. And he goes, well, she wasn't a president. He goes, look, that's not. Look, we won't talk. You know, and so in that right there, that show. You know. So to wrap up my point about these parties, I personally believe that Donald Trump is going to win again. You mark my words. I'm willing to take that bet. Anybody out there who thinks that you want to fucking bet me on Donald Trump winning, I will take that. But at the end of the day, the Democrats deserve to lose again because they've done what they did in the past again. They slighted the progressive candidate that the people have been asking for, that the people who are going to be alive in 30, 40, 50 years are asking for, and yet they put up this fucking politician that again is the oppressing class. Right. So these politicians they're there to maintain the status quo.
Yeah, they're puppets.
And Donald Trump is still maintaining the status quo. So it doesn't matter who wins or loses. I personally have qualms against rewarding a party who has historically not listened to me with my vote, right? Because that's what they did in 2016. We did it with Hillary. We said, all right, look, this is not who we asked for. You fucking cheated. You stole this fucking vote. But because you're better than the other guy, we'll vote for you. And that fucking loss was hard as shit. Do you know how hard it is to fucking... That'd be like...
Be sad that you're fucking Hillary lost?
That would be like you apologizing to somebody whose feelings you hurt, and then they go, oh, okay, cool, fuck you. And you have to swallow your pride and you know, oh, look, I got it. You know? So when it comes to this Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton thing and fucking Donald Trump, I personally think that they deserve to lose. I think Donald Trump is going to win again. And I
said Hillary. You mean Joe?
Yeah, it's the
same shit, bro.
Same shit, different asshole.
Yeah,
right.
Left cheek, right cheek, same ass.
Exactly. So to get off that, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick sponsorship break. You guys can go ahead and hear from some of our sponsors, or one of them. One of them is my mom. The other one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back in, say, I don't know, 10?
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Hey, this is Tremell S and Mike Gef coming to you live from the Pull Up or Shut Up podcast studios. So we just wanted to take this time to go ahead and tell you guys about this incredibly handy little app called Anchor,
where you can create, distribute, and monetize your podcast directly from your phone, your tablet, or your laptop.
And now the really cool thing about this is that the Anchor app will actually distribute your podcast to Spotify, Apple, and just about any other website that you could think of. So if you're interested, go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Yo, welcome back to the fucking podcast. Pull up, shut up. Just a quick recap for y'all. We were going over the two-party system, how fucked up it is. We got nowhere there. Then we got third party, equally shitty, you know? Also nothing. So we kind of wanted to maybe draw back a few steps and maybe talk more so about ways that we can fix the situations we were talking about.
Right. So all right. So to start off, I'll say that I personally believe that it's, when it comes to fixing the voting system, again, that's the system, that's their game. So it's kind of hard to beat someone at their own game. That's why it's beat someone at their own game is a thing, right? I think that there are many problems that we face in our individual communities that we have to address. There are problems, like I said, that we have within ourselves that we have to address. So for me, I just look inward and I start to look at the things that I don't know still, the things that I know that I need more help with, and the things that the people that I look up to succeed with. So I think there is a certain level, or there is a way to go about a means of change, and I think that means of change, it starts with first and foremost being able to protect yourself, being able to protect, your family and things like that. You know what I mean? I do have mixed feelings when it comes to gun laws, and we'll definitely get into that in the later episodes.
What about research? I feel like that's where a lot of Americans are lacking. Not many people know a lot about many subjects. We spread our knowledge so thin, and it's like, especially in a day like today, we have to focus on 12,001 different topics. So it's like, instead of focusing on those numerous amount of topics, go inward. So focus more on surroundings and self.
Here's the hardest part about that, is that even with the entire world at your fingertips, we still have people who are questioning if the earth is flat. We still have people questioning if, or just standard shit that we've known for hundreds of years. That
ain't fucking flat, y'all.
That we knew without fucking phones.
I'll take it on Stone Mountain.
So it's this thing where you go, you kind of have to ask yourself, do you really honestly, truly, in your heart of hearts, believe that you will ever get people to not be stupid?
Fuck no.
Right. So all you can ever do is really change their means of stupidity. You can only ever change what their stupidity affects. And it's so ingrained and it's so deep in our culture that when it comes to research, it's like, well, who are you researching? Where did you get the research from?
Who's funding them?
Who's funding it? And who's funding the person that's funding it? And here's
what
the thing.
Do they believe?
People,
they actually believe?
I mean, and just with the simple fact that most of the wealth that's in this country comes from a certain number of individuals, at the end of the day, most of the money is going to trace back. So then you have people who will hear a true fact and they can't refute it at all. So they decide to dissect it in different ways. So it becomes these means of or they find different means of diluting the truth.
You pull enough off of the situation,
right? And ignorance is without a doubt the single greatest enemy of today. It's the simple ignorance that we all have, the simple ignorance that other places have about us. It's one of those things where you kind of, I won't say, how will I put this? Let me figure out how to rephrase this. The people will only accept what the people they like say. The people like to be told what to think, how to think, how to feel, when to feel, why to feel.
And the ones who don't are the ones who are attacked.
Exactly. So that right there shows, or makes me feel as if there, at least on a macro level, we really can't fix that. But those microcosms that exist, those are things that we really should be focusing on.
So sustainability,
right? And so you can't make someone learn. You can only put the things in front of them for them to learn, right? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So you can lead a motherfucker to a book, but you can't make him read. So all you ever really can do is just make it a little bit more accessible for other people to get it, And as someone who is, of course, like I said, we're American, we view success different. So, of course, we all want a fuck ton of money. You know what I mean? And somebody's got to give us that money. And it's definitely not the smart motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? It's,
dumb motherfuckers.
It's the dumb motherfuckers. The people who are buying albums are the people. That's why music is so fucking dumb. It's because all the people buying music are fucking dumb. You got to get these dumb motherfuckers to buy your album. You don't want to make. You're not gonna make $1 million fucking talking about how the government's fuck. Oh God, the
You're not gonna make them smarter and still make the money.
Shake that booty, show me them titties, bitch. They be like, oh fuck
yeah.
I'm gonna make this shit platinum, triple fucking platinum.
Yeah.
So you look at that and you start to kind of you start to realize that we are in a much deeper hole than what we paint ourselves to be in, and it's only getting deeper.
I feel like teaching resources, teaching resourcefulness, and just about education and sustainability and gun laws, and a lot of these things play a big role because this politician might tell you, oh yeah, we're gonna expand our gun laws, but to some people, expand gun laws is like, okay, more gun laws, cool. To other people, that's, oh fuck nah, bitch taking my gun. Yeah. So it's like, I feel like just kind of like how you were kind of ripping down Joe Jurgensen's kind of like how she like sugarcoats shit is like a big means to like solving this fucking mystery that we're fucking dealing with. Is like exploit as much as you can, research as much as you can, research the research as much as you can, ask your motherfucking friends, have that fucking conversation. Like I said before the break, realize we all fucking equally suck.
But what's the first step to change? The first step would be to acknowledge
the problem. Oh, shit, when you're in AA, what's the fucking number one fucking thing? I have a fucking problem.
Right, and so until someone does that, they'll never heal. It's like trying to get an alcoholic to quit alcohol. It's like trying to get a heroin addict to quit heroin.
So what's your biggest problem?
The biggest problem is...
No, what's your biggest problem?
Oh, mine? Yeah. Mine is that I have this really, really huge fat fucking dick, and I cannot, for the life of me, fucking get out of bed without knocking everything off my fucking nightstand everywhere. No, my biggest problem, I can't even say what my biggest problem is. I know what problems I'm aware of. I know that I do have flaws,
to realize, to fix the situation, we have to realize our biggest problems, right? What's the biggest problem?
So here's what I want to go to kind of look at it on a macro cosmic sort of level.
Heard.
The problems that we all have to face and that we all have to fight. Like I said, just because not everything that we face we can change, but that doesn't mean that we still shouldn't try to fight them. You know what I mean? So yes, we do have problems, but everyone's opinion on what the problem is and what it'll change is completely different. So for one person, it might be, well, you know, we need to make gun laws tighter so crazy people don't get guns. For the other people, it might be, we need everybody to have a gun. You know? And so it's this thing where it's a subjective ideology for how we should fix a problem. And neither of the ideas are going to fix it. Neither, you know, it's.
So we just are supposed to fucking not do anything about this shit?
No, that's what I'm saying. You still continue to fight it because we can make things better, but as far as fixing something, it's not.
So you're speaking on a macro level, but we have to focus on individualism.
Right, because on a macro level, you'll ever only make a change marginally at best. Within yourself, you can completely change your life around. You can fucking leave here today and you can go and be the most pious, devout, you know, wisest person, or you can leave here and you can go fucking kill someone. And both of those will take your life down two completely different paths. So, it's not to say like we just can't do anything, so we should just fucking give up. We should just quit. I personally just believe that for us to fix a problem, we have to be honest about the problem first. Not just acknowledge that there's a problem, but also be honest about it. How bad is the problem? How, like, if you can go, I'm a shitty person.
How shitty are you?
Right. So it's, you know, the problem is a lot deeper. It's a lot deeper than what even the smart people are trying to, you know what I mean? Everyone's just doing what they can to kind of, to just assuage the people. We just want to make sure that the people will have, that they'll be fine, they'll be okay, and that goes back into our illusion of choice. And all power structures are always going to lean towards giving you the illusion of choice because, let's be honest, the mass group of people are fucking stupid, and what the mass group of people want is not the best thing for everyone.
And the government literally breaks down the mass group of people against each other.
So so like you look at yourself and you go, well, what do I personally feel about politics in America? Do I believe that we should just give every fucking thing away for free? No. Do I believe that we should hold everything and fucking make everybody fight for it? No. What do I believe? How far do I go? How far? So those are questions that you kind of have to ask within yourself, and that goes back again to changing yourself, not just changing the world. Because we as millennials like to set our sights high, and we like to go, well, I want to make a change on the world. I want to make a change, but that change happens within you.
Yourself.
If you are honest with
I feel
yourself,
like you're talking to me directly.
if you are honest with yourself about the lies that you tell yourself, when you expose the lies that you've told yourself to other people, they'll go, holy shit, this motherfucker's talking to me. That's why people go to church. People go to church and they go, oh shit, temptation, struggles, trials, and tribulations. Nigga, that is my life.
It's crazy. It's like, I'm pretty sure I told you about this story, but I kind of want to touch on it real quick. When I was in Israel, we were talking about it with when Murph's interviewed. So when I was in Israel, I went to some area. I don't remember what it was. I was like 5 years old, and I saw this black dude, and I'm like, all right, I kind of don't fuck with none of y'all because I'm from America and I'm from New York and I live in the hood. Like, so there's a black guy. I'm gonna go talk to the black guy, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Some shit, whatever a fucking 5-year-old says, and he says, "Ani lo medber English." In Hebrew, he tells me he doesn't speak English. Right. And I'm like, the fuck? Like, wait, that doesn't exist in my mind.
Yeah.
That a black man knows how to speak the same fucking language as me.
Well, it's because we were the original Hebrews.
That's another subject we can get into, by the way. But like,
they're all liars.
They're all fucking liars.
They're all liars.
But like, you're fed this fucking racism, bro, and it's like when I realized like, holy shit, I was immune to fucking racism and I was built on this fake ass structure off the rip. I was like, dude, if everybody just wake up and realize, yo, I had some fucking racist shit, or my mom said this fucking...
But we're still not even fully awake.
Oh, hell no, we sleep as fuck.
We still asleep, bro.
Sleep.
We still asleep.
So I think the way for us to kind of fix this shit is wake the fuck up. Have these conversations, look in yourself, fix your community, sustain your environment, build off yourself, and hopefully other communities and other people and everybody around you will pick up those habits and it'll fucking create a domino effect.
Right. You have to be honest with yourself about your problems, about your view of society. It takes a lot of ego swallowing. It takes a lot and we're still not there. I'm as much, talking as I've been doing, I personally still have things that I try to get over, you know what I mean? And I work on them every single day. You know what I mean? And that's just coming from a place of being conditioned.
Man hurts.
So it's, you just have to focus on who you are. Focus on what makes you the person that you, not only that you want to be, but the person that you don't want to be.
Facts.
And then you can go about non-judgmentally changing other people who want to personally be changed as well. And that's just the way that I see it.
It's real. Yo, thanks for tuning in. You got Corona.
Yeah, bro. I got the Rona V2.
The COVID-19.
This shit ain't even drop until October, nigga. You can't even get this shit in stores, nigga.
Hey, guys, for the record, COVID-19 is not for 2019 for y'all dumbasses. It's the 19th strain of coronavirus. There's 16,000 patent submissions.
Nah.
Yes, it is.
Nah, bro, you on the wrong side of that.
Bro, there's 16,000 patent submissions for Corona. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all tuning in to Pull Up or Shut Up podcast. My name is Mike Gef, and this is
Tremell S.
Yes, sir. Tune in if y'all want to be featured on our show, PUSU podcast@gmail.com. And if you want to be featured on one of our pull-up sessions, which we will be doing on our next episode, follow our IG, Pull Up or Shut Up Show, and follow our at our Facebook, Pull Up or Shut Up podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Y'all the real ones.
And real quick, before we go, we just want to go ahead and give a shout out to our production company, RX Art Media, and also
That's ART Media.
And our boys over at Media Go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. One love. Fuck Donald Trump and fuck Joe Biden.